Hey guys, today we are actually going to be making a clay cat. You're going to need to get a piece of burlap off of the front counter, a toothbrush, which I'll explain in a little bit, a piece of clay, and then at your table you should have these little wooden sticks. All right, you can share these with a neighbor. We're going to start off with our hunk of clay and we are going to gently squeeze it a bit, just trying to make kind of like a ball. It's best if you squeeze it with the palm, because when you cup your palm it already makes kind of like a half circle. You can roll it between your hands a bit. Remember that you don't want to play with clay too much because your hands will soak up all the water in the clay and then it gets dry and you can't work with it. After I've got a decent looking ball, I'm going to make something called a pinch pot. You may have made these before on your own. I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to stick it into the center of my clay like this. Now I'm going to pull my thumb out, or I could just twist it, I suppose, and I'm going to pinch that clay with my thumb inside the hole, and with these two fingers I'm going to pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn. I'm just going to pinch all the way around that circle so my bowl starts to get formed. However, when I touch the bottom of the bowl, I can tell that there's still a lot of clay down towards the bottom. So I'm actually going to go ahead, I'm going to pinch around the bottom part of it this time. You may end up with that, you might not. You're going to have to feel the bowl or your little pinch pot and try to figure that out. All right? If you're not sure, be sure to ask. All right, so I'm just pinching and turning. You don't want to get it too super duper thin. Right? Otherwise it'll break. So I usually say about the thickness of a pancake. So I've got a pretty good pinch pot going here. I've got all these marks from my fingers though, all these little indents. If you want, you can go in and try to smooth those out. I'm just kind of rubbing my thumb over them. They're not going to completely disappear. Alright, I've smoothed it out just a little bit. It's kind of hard to get them all smoothed out. Now I need to add some ears and some eyes. So at the top, because it might seem kind of weird, but our bowl is going to go upside down. Our pinch pot's going to go upside down, and that's how it's going to stand. Alright, so my ears are going to be actually at the bottom of my bowl. So I'm going to take my pointer finger and my thumb, and at the top, just off to the side, I'm going to grab and pinch. Like that. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Grab and pinch. So now I've got two little cat ears. Right below those ears, I need to give them some eyes. So I'm just going to take one of your fingers. I like to use my thumb and just press it in just below those eyes. And the last thing I need to do with the cat's face is give him some whiskers, and that's what that little pokey stick is for. So you can just take it, just draw a couple whiskers on. Alright, so far I started with that ball of clay that I had to make, stuck my thumb in it, and pinched all the way around the edge until I had a nice little bowl. Alright, that's called pinch pot. Then I pinched two ears. I stuck my thumb in a couple times, I had eyes, and then I scratched on some whiskers. I've got one more thing. My cat needs a tail. So you're going to come up to me, you're going to get a second piece of clay. It's going to be just a real small piece. Alright? Probably not even this big. This might be a little too much. Something like this. Alright? I'm going to roll it between my hands. So I'm making like a clay snake. It starts to get a little too long to roll between your hands, you can put it on your canvas and gently roll it too. Alright, so that's pretty good. It's not too super thick. I'm going to attach this at the back of my cat, and it's going to just wrap around to the front like this. Alright, so I got a tail to my cat. I can't just stick it to the cat though. This is new for you guys. When you just stick two pieces of clay together, when I go to put this in my kiln or that clay oven, the tail will actually break off. So this is where that toothbrush comes in. All right, we have to do something called slipping and scoring. Slipping and scoring is when it makes a whole bunch of little scratches into the clay. When I do that to two pieces of clay and stick them together, it will interlock them so that they don't want to let go of each other. That way our tail isn't going to fall off. So I'm just going to gently dip my toothbrush in my water. I'm going to scratch where that tail is going to go. So on the back side, right along the bottom. Just giving it a little brush. You don't want too much water either, otherwise you're going to end up with a mess. So just gently scrubbing it. I also need to do the same thing to the tail, where that's going to attach. So I'm just going to give that a little scrub as well. And now I'm going to put those two toothbrush parts together, like this. But we're still not quite done yet. All right, so even though I used the toothbrush on both pieces of clay and I've stuck them together, it still might pop off. So I'm going to flip my cat upside down. And I'm actually just going to pinch the bottom of the tail next to the bottom of my bowl. All right, so I'm just grabbing and pinching. That's just going to kind of help seal that together. All right, so I have my cat. All right, so start with the pinch pot, pinch 2 ears, push your thumb in, make a couple eyes, scratch your whiskers, and last but not least, you need to come up to me, get a small piece of clay, and you are going to roll that into a coil. All right, remember a coil is that clay noodle that I rub between my hands. Don't do it too much or it's going to crack and fall apart. Then I had to scrub it with my toothbrush, both pieces of clay, and then I attached it and pinched it together. When you get this far, you're going to bring it back to me. I'll be sure to put your name on the back of it. All right. Make sure to clean up your spot when you're all finished.